And we are going to do share screen. Let me bring this up. And then share screen. Okay, I think today I should be able to complete the study of pandas. Okay, then next week we will move to plotting. And today's first note is 04, okay, note 504. So still some review and plus here and there some new concept, okay. So we have series, okay, create series. So this is pretty normal for us. So we have certain range of number and with the index you specify as it. So here it's you assign it to a variable called object. And over here to try to show is called the drop method. Okay, the drop method says you can drop one or more entries. Is it from some axis you specify? But be careful, okay, it's a drop method will return a new object. Okay, if by itself, just draw later on, we will see. But because like you may say, I wanted to drop on the original. I said, what should I do? I said, but anyway, the drop method itself return a new object. So here it says, okay, I'm going to drop C. Is that so new object? Did you see the new object has C? Is it? And then here I said, okay, object, I drop D and C. And then I want to display object. Did you see object never touched? Is it? Because what it drop return to the new object. Okay, so be careful here. And then next, let's take a look. So here it shows that just shows series. Is it for data frame similar? Okay, so be careful. Pandas data frame we have index, and we have, also have columns. Is it? And here it says, okay, I'm going to drop Colorado and Ohio to index. Is it? And over here, what it shows, you can also specify the axis. Is it? You can also specify the axis is one or axis as a column. Is it? You can also do that. Okay. And here it says, okay, I'm going to drop and the 2 and the 4. It says the axis is a column. Is it? So with data frame, you can also specify the axis. Okay. And that's regarding drop. And like we just said, the drop return a new object won't impact the original. If you do want the original data frame, certain specified item be dropped, you can place this in place equals to true. Okay, if you recall previously, we also learned, okay. So you specify in that case, okay, the C is the index C. And I wanted it to happen with true. Okay, in place is true. Okay, so that's why over here I specify. Hold on, let's get the student in. Okay, so this is regarding this note. It's pretty straightforward. And what is the next one? Try to show. Let's see. The next one is quite long. Okay. It's note 05, this one. So first, let's take a look. So here we have the series, so it's pretty straightforward. So here, just try to review more about indexing, selection, filtering, okay, and also slicing, etc. So we can, so this is a series, is it? With a series, if you specify with the index, is it? With the index, then it will pick out the index. You can also because this is a label index. Is it? So you can use a label to directly select, or you can use a location. Is it? So this is a location 0, 1, 2, 3, something. Is it? So you can also do that to select. Is it? So this is regarding indexing, okay, selection. And then let's take a look over here. And here it says, okay, I want to select based on label. Is it? And over here, you pass in labels as a list. Is it as a list? As a list, you pass in. Is it? And what it's going to output. Is it? Whatever you picked. Is it? And the next one, see, okay, this is what? This is condition. Is it? This is filtering. Filtering. Is it? And you can also select to use filtering. So whatever meet this condition, okay, any, so element wise, is it of the elements that items that meet this less than 2 condition, I'm going to get it out. Is it? So you can see, okay, it can also do filtering, this selection using filtering to select. Okay, and what the next one shows is over here, you can also, so here is you use comma, is it, and then label. Label, okay. And if you directly pass this in, then it's what? It's slicing. It's a slicing, okay. But C is included, okay. So if you do this, it's included. Okay, using label. Okay, it's included. And you can also do this using label. You can also specify, reset, reassign the value 5, 0. Is this both B and C assigned to 0? Is it? Oh, no, 0, 5.0. Okay. So that's the concept here. And what next one try to show? So here we have 4x4 data, is it? And then we have index and we have columns, is it? So what over here we try to do is, so here we have some data, is it? So we have index as Ohio, Colorado, Utah, and New York, is it? And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's some data here. Data here is a 4x4. Okay. And here that we want to select. So here you plug in the column name. Column name, this one. Is it? So what you will get, this is the, this is basically it's a series, is it? And it also said, okay, the name for this series is 1. Is it? So you get this column data out, is it? And you can also get select multiple column, is it? Column 1 and column 3, is it? And here it shows column 1 and column 3. Okay. So here just try to show this part. And over here for the selection, you can also use what? You can also use location, is it? Instead of column name, is it? So what over here, it's a slicing. Okay, so oh, I'm sorry. This part is not column. Okay, this is for the indexing, is it? Let's go back to take a look. Indexing, is it? Because by default, is it, this is the first axis. So this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, is it? With the default number indexing, is it? And if you be careful, okay, if you do that, it said from the second. But if you take a look, this is not included. Okay, not include, so be careful, okay. And you can also say, okay, I want to, for 3, column 3, I want to select some item from column 3, but not all of that. Column 3 values greater than 5. I want to pick off those data out. Is it? So what we get for the second one, if you take a look, yes, this part meet of that first row is out. Is it? And of the other, it didn't say that I just pick this column. It's just whatever the condition means, I'm going to pick all of the data. Okay, so here is a condition for you to select the data. Is it? So you can do something also like this. And here just show, okay, whatever left less than 5, then you assign them to all as 0. Is it? So here it shows. Okay. And then what next one try to show is we can, previously you remember we also learned use log or I.log. Is it? The dot log, okay, I'm going to see. So this is what? Use comma, is it? And this is for first dimension. This is going to be second dimension, is it? Second axis. Is it? And for the first one, you're going to select Colorado. So that row, is it? For the second one, going to pick 2 and 3, is it? So that's why over here, you pick out those. Is it to pick out all the data? Okay, so that's, you can use dot log and specify with label name and the column name, is it? And you can also do ilog, is it? Ilog, then you need to use those numbers to specify, is it? And for the first axis, since there is only a single number, so that's not a list, is it? And the second axis, there are more than one I, so you put all of them in a list. But still, this is just a selection, okay? Individual item, not slicing a range of item, okay? But based on first dimension and second dimension, okay, both dimension. Okay, so that's ilog and log. We also learned previously also. And then let's take a look for this. Use log again. And use log, you can also specify with what? You can also specify with label name, is it? And here it shows using the label name. And you can also do with ilog, is it? ilog with also the slicing, is it? And what over here is I'm going to select a certain range, is it? So all of the rows. And regarding the column, not including the last column, is it? But what we care is the third column. You can also use dot to access the column name greater than 5. I only going to interested in this column of the value greater than 5 and within this range of data, and I'm interested in getting all of those out. Okay, so that's what this ilog explains.
Hello?
Okay, sorry again, the internet got broken again. For some reason, it's just kept broken. Where did I need to get it back? Yeah, for some reason, my internet is not stable. It's kept disconnected. Okay, so what we just discussed, okay. What we just discussed is about this two data frame. So DF1 and DF2, okay. These two, okay, and here, what we are going to do is we apply arithmetic operation between these two data frame. But you will see these two data frame don't share exactly the same row and the same column. Is that so? What we share is column B and D. Is that, and we only share Ohio, Texas, and Colorado. So Utah is not shared. Is it? So when we do arithmetic operation between these two different, what will the result look like? So let's take a look. So if you take a look, basically it's kind of the union of these two data frame. Is it? So column E, is it C and column E are just expanded. Is it? And the corresponding values from Utah is not there. Is it? Utah is just filled with net. Unless you have the value from both, then you're going to do arithmetic operation. Is that? So let's see. Over here, Ohio, suppose Ohio and D, it's 2-0. Ohio and D. So 20 plus 40, it's 6. Is it? So unless you have common from both the first axis and the second axis, then you're going to conduct. Otherwise, just appears in one place, you have no way to do arithmetic. You just filled with nav values. Okay, that's what this does. And you can also, because you may see that's annoying, is it? And what you want to do is, you may say, okay, if for the nav values, I just fill with 0. Okay, if one of the columns or one of the items in the data frame is nav, and when you do arithmetic operation or apply any operation, you're going to just fill it with 0. You can specify whatever value it's going to be filled with. Okay, then in that case, you're going to get the result without a name. Okay, so that's regarding regarding the arithmetic operation. And then next, let's take a look more, okay, operations, okay, between data frame and series. A lot of time you may also want to do that. So anyway, so this is a 3x4 data frame, okay. And with that data frame, I'm going to pick the first row. So this is the first row. And you said I'm going to minus the first row. Basically, that means your original will have 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the original data. And then you are going to subtract the first one. So you're going to subtract all of this, is it? And so this is sub 0 and minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, is it? And that's how you come up with all of this result. So it's going to be subtracted along each of the row, okay? This operation for series. Okay, that's regarding that one. And then over here, it's similar. So here anyway, we have a data frame, and then you pick a certain row as a column, and then you can apply arithmetic minus. Similar concept as the previous one. Is it similar here? Okay, you can also do that. But over here it says index is BDE. Is it? But in the original data frame, column is BDE. And here index, it's because it's a series, is it? So when it does apply the arithmetic operation, okay, it will be automatically do re-indexed, okay, so that this index will match the corresponding column value, because your data frame index is different from the series index. Okay, so it will automatically do the re-index. Okay, and then over here, it's just to try to show similar concept. You can also pick a column, is it? Pick a column as a series, is it? And then you can also call the subtraction function, and you specify how you apply the subtraction along the index, basically over here, okay? So that's regarding the operation, and next part is also interesting. And over here, it's just said some NumPy operations, it's element wise. Okay, we already know. So anyway, so here we have a data frame. Okay, it's a 4x3 data frame, and you have column, have index, and then you apply what? NumPy. So this is NumPy operation, is it? So this is absolute. So that's why you will see the result is all positive value, okay? And then next, let's see this part. Over here, we also define a function. This function is defined using lambda expressions to find some maximum value and minimum value and the offset between maximum and minimum. And then did you see over here? So this is our data frame. This is our data frame. And then we call apply method. Okay, apply with what? You plug in a method. Is it a function? Okay, and what it does is try to find the maximum value. Is it? And here we didn't specify along which axis. So it will find the maximum along each column and the minimum also along each column among various rows. Is it? And it finds the maximum and the minimum and then to subtract. That's how we got this result. Okay, so that's you can call apply. Okay, and what it says over here, we will see three functions: apply, apply map, and map. And here it says apply is apply a function along an axis of the data frame. Okay, all values of series. Okay, so here we just see that you apply the function along some axis that, and we calculate the real result based on the column. And what the map does, apply map, it says apply function to element wise. Okay, element wise, so that's what it means. Okay, so over here it says frame, is it? So that's our data frame with 0, 1, 2, 3 something. Is it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4? Is it 4 by 3? No, I got it wrong. 0, 1. Okay, it's 4 by 3. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 something. Is it? Okay, so this time we call apply. Is it apply with this lambda, so maximum and minimum. And here you can also specify you apply this method along which axis. Here it says apply to columns. Is it? And then basically it's per row. Is it? Because the operation, so you find the maximum value between columns, is it? And also minimum value between columns. That's why maximum is 2, minimum is 0, maximum is 5, minimum is 3, is it? So maximum minus minimum. Okay, so you can also specify the axis. And over here it says the function pass to can also is at return a series. Okay, with multiple values. Okay, so what here, this function, what you define is a return what? Return a series. Okay, the series has 2 index. Here is at minimum and maximum. Is it minimum and maximum? And then you have minimum value, maximum value. Is it identify? And because it's a, then you plug in this to the data frame. Is it to the data? That's how for each column. Is it how each column you're going to find the minimum and the maximum value? Is it? And then you create this new kind of data frame and with the specified indexes. Okay, so that's what this method does. And what next one try to show is, so here we define a new function. So it's a lambda expression. And this we understand is that this is purely for Python formatting. Is it F represents floating? Is it okay? You take 2 decimal point, 2 decimal point, and whatever variable is it, and that's what Python's formatting using percentage sign. Okay, so try to formatting something some as a certain specified string, is it? And then you call apply map. Okay, apply map, be careful, it's element wise. So every item, okay, you apply this method to it. So element wise versus apply, if you recall, it's along certain axis. Is it along certain axis you can specify, okay? So that's the difference between these two, okay? And you can also do map. Okay, can also map is a series has a map method for we to apply element wise. Okay, so you pick E, is it? And the E is what? Is one column from the data frame. So it's a series. So this is a series. Is this here? And then you said I'm going to apply that function. Is it? So it's going to do formatting just for that specific column. Okay. Okay, what to the next one? The sorting. And the sorting, if you recall previously, I remember we already discussed sort index. Is it? So I'm not going to repeat because we kind of run out of time. The sort value, as we discussed that before. Here is a concept. It's called ranking. Okay, rank concept. So you have this series generated. So this is series number, is it? And you call rank and it's generally something looks like a little bit of weird, you may think, is it? So what it does is you are going to kind of reorder the number. Is it reorder the number as like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Is it the order? And of course, this is going to be the first. That's its initial label. Is it label? And the second one should be 0. Is it 0? And it's 5. Is it? And the third one is what? Is 2. 2. And its index is 4. Is it 2? And then 0. And then we have what? We have 4. Is it? Well, we have 2, 4. 2, 4. Is it? And 1 is 3. And 1 is at 6. And we have 2, 7. 2, 7. Is it? And 2, 7, 1 is 0, 1 is at 2. Is it? And it's just ranking. Is it ranking? And this is what? This is the original index. Original index. Is it? Here is index 7. And 7, you have 2, 7. Is it 2, 7? So you group them together, you take average. So 6 plus 7 and divide by 2, you have 6.5. So that's the rank. We don't take the difference because between these two, how you identify the difference between them. Is it? So that's why if you take a look, 7 here, it says its rank is 6.5, and the other 7, 6.5. That's how this 6.5 come from. Is it? Same thing for this 2. So 4 plus 5 and divide by 2, it's 4.5. Is it? So that's why for this 4, it's 4.5. You have 4.5. Is it? So that's how, and the other one, the ranking, just their own ranking. So if you have multiple values, then you're going to use the mean as rank. Okay, so that's what this rank method does. And then you can also, it's not always you said, I want to use average. Is it? Rank can also be assigned according to the order in which they are observed. Is it? So therefore that 7, is it, depends on where it first occurred. So it's not necessary always be 6.5. And so this is the first one, you see it. This is the second one, you see it. Then you apply it in the observed order. Okay, so that's what rank means. So similar, you can do it for data frame, okay? And we can also do sum and mean, we already know, and describe, okay, so we already learned this before. And the last example, just a quick one, okay? How do you also get some data from internet, okay? And for Pandas, so in this case, we want to get some financial data from Yahoo Finance. Is it? Then you need to import like a Panda data reader data. Okay, and you import this package, is it? And then you call the method got data. Is it? Get data, and it may have some more, I haven't investigated, but anyway, for Yahoo financial data, you can get, and you specify whatever it's for the ticker, stock ticker, is it? And over here, you're not going to get all of the data. You just say, okay, I'm interested in Apple's, IBM's, Microsoft, and Google's, all of those companies, the stock information, is it? And after that, so over here, what you see is, it's formed as what? A dictionary. Is that a dictionary? Because for each ticker, it has a bunch of related data. Is it related data? The data is going to be something looks like, let's see. Yeah, so it has a high value, high price, low price, opening price, closing price, volume, adjusted price, something like that. Okay, something like that. And from that kind of data, is it? And you can build some other data frame, is it? So over here it says, okay, I'm going to using those Apple, IBM, Microsoft, Google. I just interested in those four, is it? So for all of their data items, I just want to get the single column data, okay, for my ticker, okay, and then. And the other one is get the volume. So over here, you see, then you get the data frame. Is that get data frame? And I here only get the first five. So because I can call the header because it's a data frame. Okay, so you can get off the stock data. Okay, based on certain date. Okay, so that's this information. And you can also then call like a percentage change and get some information. So you can conduct some operation on that, etc. And here it just shows more. You can also do correlation, covariance calculation, is it between different companies' stock data, okay? And over here it's for returns, okay? So you can also do quite a number of data relationship calculation. Okay, so we get Pandas completed, okay. So starting from next week, we will move to plotting. And so just a reminder, so next Monday, okay, and I will also post that to our course website. Make sure to come to that speaker events, and you will get a bonus point, okay. Okay, any other question before we dismiss the class? If there is no questions, I will see you all next Monday. Bye.